Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, StarCrafters and StarCraftettes, to the GSL Team League. It is OGS versus ZeNEX. And so far, OGS highly in the lead, but they've had to send out a second player now, 2-1. I guess it's not highly in the lead, but they are in the lead. And Mr. the STC has come off the bench. OGS still holding back their big guns in case they need them later on. Want to get their lesser-known players some more experience, some more exposure. And he's going to be facing off against Avenge, who got cheesed by Vines and did really well. Holding it off.
Here we saw a pretty funny PvP, probably one of the funniest PvPs I've casted in quite a while. And the next game is going to be a Terran versus Protoss on dual side. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see the fourth game between ZeNEX and OGS in just a few seconds. The game is already loading, so we will be back with the next game in just a few seconds here at the GSTL. At the right side of the map and dual side, we have in the red colors the Protoss player who showed us a pretty nice performance in Antigua Shipyard. It is
Avenge!
Oh, someone is nervous.
Yep, he does not look too confident because he is playing against a much more experienced player here in the bottom left of the map.
oGs-TL, the STC!
Yes, the STC. Not just any compilation of letters, he is the STC.
Exactly, there are so many STCs, but he's the real deal.
Yep.
And, well, we're on dual side again, and on dual side it's obviously really potent if you go for a 1-1-1 build. We saw one yesterday which did not accomplish all that much in the end. We had a not really a quick game, but we had Crank and the Best playing on dual side, and the Best was not in the best shape as for some reason he is.
Nope.
1-1-1. It failed, he was not able to take down Crank. Let's see if today's Terran player is doing a better job, and let's see what kind of strategy he uses. So far he's at least taking gas.
Yes, indeed, and the probe scouting around the main, wants to make sure he's not hiding any buildings anywhere. Although, would not be terribly likely to hide a second barracks if he had a extractor down, although maybe had the tech lab on or something like that. Anyway, so just keeping that probe alive as long as possible, keeping it in the bases. Never mind, not as long as possible, he's actually leaving. But the Marine was about to pop out, so wants to save that probe rather than get a last few seconds of scouting information, or he's going to go back in and...
Didn't scout anything at all.
Actually, he might have been able to see if there was an add-on on the barracks, and I think he was able to scout that there was no add-on, so that was important.
He saw that the second Marine was built, there was no add-on so far, and he also scouted that there was no second SP guy. So I have to correct myself. He actually did a couple of information.
Oh, did he get?
He knows that there's no second gas, which would have been maybe already been built if we would have gone for some kind of really fast tech build with the Cloak Banshees, which is not really the most likeliest build, but we have seen it occasionally on dual side. For now, we have OGS, the STC, with the reactor at his barracks. He's going for the second command center, trying to build an expansion build, while his opponent is going straight into robotics, building the first sentry already.
Yeah, that probe will be remembered as a hero back in Protoslandia, back on Ire.
No type
player. Go ahead.
No type of one base all incoming from the STC. Therefore, he's going for 2 additional barracks right now, building the second command center, as I've already mentioned. Now taking the second gas, and well, 2 more gates, 1 more gate being added for the Protoss. He's going to be able to scout really soon, as soon as the robotics finish. He's going to start with the first observer. Oh, actually not. He's going straight for the Immortal.
And I think
Chrono
we're
boosting it as well.
probably going to see a couple tech labs go down on those 2 racks as soon as they're complete, or very shortly after. There they are, tech labs. So you can start getting those upgrades for his bio units, since he is obviously focusing heavily on bio right now. Not even a factory yet.
Nice. Has at least a quick look into the main base, sees the robotics facility, and after the Immortal has been completed, he's going straight for the first observer. Actually, we would have thought that he wants to get the difficult scouting information first, but he plays pretty passive. He's now throwing down the base with a 1-gate robotics into expansion. Well, OGS, the STC, already has his second base. 25 harvesters to 28.
Indeed, another Nexus is on the way, as we pointed out before. Observer going across the map, another observer on the way as well. Wants to get 2 observers out before he really starts getting those tech units, so you can make sure to have a lot of map control off. Also, you know, if you scout your opponent's army with that observer, it's not unlikely that it'll get snapped out of the air by a scan.
You must construct additional pylons.
We have a third gas coming up now for the STC. He is completing his factory. We'll start right away with a starport, and at the same time we have him with his bio upgrades. He's going for the +1, sorry, not for the +1 attack upgrade, but for combat shield and a stim. Well, he's just roaming the map now with his small bio force, starting to look at this. Some kind of a warp in pylon somewhere. And another Immortal for his opponent, ZeNEX event.
Finally have the tech going out. Oh, he went in and he scouted the factory, but he didn't actually go far enough to technically see that starport. Although I guess he can kind of infer what's going on up there. But yeah, combat shields and stim are on the way. STC is just kind of chilling out until he gets his, you know, his 2-base bio thing going. He's going to be putting out medevacs and a lot of Marauders and Marines, and they're going to have, you know, stim and combat shield. So then he's going to be able to start putting on more pressure, possibly even dropping.
It's a pretty passive game right now. We have OGS, the STC, being happy on sitting on 2 bases. The same goes for his opponent. We have Avenge now with a bunch of additional warp gates that he adds in order to make good use of the resources that he's harvesting, mining at his second base. 2 gas for the Protoss player, while our Terran already has 3. And warp in pylons at the left side of the map, already been scouted by the STC, and he is walking straight towards the left of the map to take them down.
That was interesting. He canceled one of them.
He realized that they would die now anyways.
They would just be killed, yeah. Good idea there.
Oh, trying to sneak in another one though.
Yeah.
He realized that his opponent was trying to cut off his retreat, and this is exactly what happens. Also for Avenge, he's able to use the force field, but the pickup is beautiful for the STC. And he's saving a lot of those fire units.
Yeah, saved about half the troops that were lost there. He did actually, I think, kill a couple. I didn't catch it there. I think he killed a sentry or 2 while he was trapped there, so that's something good as well.
And Avenge used tons of force fields and did not accomplish all too much.
That's true. He only has 3. Yeah, he only has 3 or 4 force fields left. And there goes one of them. And so he's actually going to be able to repair those bunkers, mass repair them.
Won't have a problem repairing all, but warping onto the high ground, very nice. 89 supply against 77, building more and more Marines. Marauders +1 is not done just yet. He can't use it in the fight. The Zealots swapped to the high ground are already dead and gone, and now the pilot is being killed.
Wow.
And Avenge has to retreat for now.
Yeah, Avenge really forced back there. You're right, he spent a lot of force fields, more than were necessary to trap those Marauders and keep them in place so he could try and kill some of them, and then he didn't even kill very many of them. It was a valiant effort, but so he actually didn't have the force fields necessary to break that front. because he could just mass repair the bunkers.
And this is an awesome situation for the STC. He was able to pick up those units. If the medivacs would have been there just a few seconds later, then his opponent would have had a huge lead. But as it is, he didn't have enough energy in the main fight to use more than one force field and the Guardian Shield. So now the STC is in a beautiful situation. He had a lot more harvesters than his opponent. ZeNEX, Avenge, cut pro production in order to build this army. And another bunch of force fields, but this time we have a lot of units for the STC. He might not be able to take down the army for ZeNEX Avenge, but he's able to deal enough damage. Still stalls time, and now he is already on 52 harvesters. He has his mules, and this is looking pretty good. Well, he's getting his third base already. He's ahead in upgrades as well, getting the Ghost Academy, while, well, ZeNEX Avenge is now just getting his first Colossus.
Well, hopefully the... Well, actually, hold that thought. Oh, he spotted it. I think he spotted that medevac. Oh, and the medevac, he turned it around. Instead of going in, the army had gone back to deal with it, so nothing happening there, but that'd be pretty cool if we saw some nukes coming out for the STC. Of course, the Ghost Academy is just for Ghost for EMP, but we've seen nukes already today, and I was just remembering that, remember I said Boxer beat Avenge in Code A? Boxer nuked him actually at the end of the last game that they played, I remember.
I don't really think that the STC needs nukes when I have a quick look at his upgrades, because he is already completing +2 attack and +1 armor, while ZeNEX Avenge doesn't even have a forge. And we have the first Vikings being built as well as the +1 attack upgrade for their units. So OGS the STC will be in the beautiful situation to have a counter to everything that ZeNEX Avenge is throwing at him. This is a really tough spot for our Protoss player to be in, so the next engagement is probably gonna hurt a lot.
Yes, indeed, and nice move there, putting that factory in the spot of the third base so he knows when a third base is created, although of course this Stalker is also here to see when the STC is thinking about taking a third. But yeah, you're right, he will not need nukes. It's kind of like, if I can make a bit of a stretch of a historical analogy, in World War II, the US actually did more damage to Japanese cities from just mass bombings than they did from the actual nuclear missiles, so...
Double drop now in the main base. Oh, being picked off by the Stalkers. One of the medivacs is already gone, but there are enough Marauders to take down the Stalkers. He's warping in additional units now. Zealots, and has one Colossus in the back to help out with defending.
And in the meantime, while he's distracted in the back, OGS, the STC, moves out onto the map with a large Bioforce. He's going to have 2-2 in mere moments. Engages a little bit before 2-2. Oh, force fields do not quite catch any units.
He actually has 2-1. He didn't start the +2 armor upgrade just yet, so now we have some 2-1 upgrades against
okay,
0-0.
I'm sorry, I thought he had both of them. Okay.
Still going to be pretty tough on the Protoss. ZeNEX Avenge is in a lot of trouble. He's going for the attack. Here comes the Guardian Shield, losing the first two Stalkers immediately. There's another stim, he needs to be careful. The force fields are not too shabby, but still a lot of Vikings dealing beautifully with the threat of the Colossus in the back, taking down two of them. The third is about to die, and the rest of the army is done for as well. The warped in Zealots are way too late to make a difference. ZeNEX Avenge is on the verge of losing this game.
That last Colossus is like, oh crap, I am getting out of here. I am not going into that battle, that is for sure. And with that many Vikings, which I believe have at least +1 weapons, I'm not sure if the Vikings have +2.
They have +1.
Just +1, then they're going to take down those Colossi even faster.
+3 attack now lined up, as well as +2 armor for the Bioforce. That one Colossus is getting 2 shot by the Vikings. The Zealots are killed, the Mana Mule gets dropped, and the GG thrown down. ZeNEX Avenge losing to the STC.
Yes, indeed. Avenge, formerly NS Explosion, or was it NL Explosion, something like that, wins his first game and then immediately goes down to the STC, who shows us a very strong Terran versus Protoss.
Dual side Alright, once again, the map for a nice Terran versus Protoss, this time especially obviously evolving around the first attack in the game, when ZeNEX Avenge tried to cut off the retreat of the small bioforce by oGs-TL STC, but all those force fields were wasted in the end because all he could accomplish was killing 2 or 3 units, and then the Medivac swooped in, picked up all those bioforces and brought them to safety.
Yes, indeed. So that means that OGS is going to go up 3-1 in this series. They are in a commanding lead now. And I'm not sure who ZeNEX is going to throw out next. They're pretty low on people that we know of.
Yeah,
they're going to have to start throwing out basically people that are going to be more wild card players that we haven't seen before in the GSL. If, you know, because they're pretty much out of GSL players now on their roster.
Well, the only Zerg they have left in the lineup and who's actually here would be Pat. And besides him, I'm not 100% sure who's left now. We can check that out in a few seconds. We also have a couple of Terrans. We have Cutter and Sparta.
Yep.
We have some Protoss players, which would be Mushroom and Extreme. So
I want to see ZeNEX Stream come out because that's just a cool name. I think that'd be amusing.
Yeah, it actually is.
It's funny how some players do that. Well, they'll use the end of their team as the beginning of their name, like FXOz. He did that as well.
It's a little
Actually,
bit with the
a number of FXO players do that. FX Optic Zero did that.
Alls, Optic Zero.
There's someone else in FXO, I think, that did that, but I don't remember. Anyway, it's always amusing. That is my sole reasoning for hoping that Extreme comes out, though, because I don't know anything about him otherwise. I haven't heard of him been in any tournaments. But, you know, if he's part of Team ZeNEX, must have something going on for him, obviously. And we're going to find out here pretty soon who ZeNEX is going to send out.
The next map will be in Toon Valley, by the way, just so you already know, and we are still waiting for both players to join the lobby. Obviously, the player for ZeNEX hasn't been chosen yet, but let's see who it's going to be. I think they should be ready in a few seconds.
Yeah, I think they're about to pick right now. And maybe not.
I'm desperately trying to listen to the Koreans and make out when they are actually going to show us who's going to play for ZeNEX.
Remember, again, you can always stop by GOMTV.net/tickets and check out all the ticket options that we have there, so you can watch all the Team League, all the GSL. Now, finally, we're going to get the pick. And I think I recognize him, but maybe not. I mean, I don't know if you recognize him as who he is, but it is. Sorry, I didn't hear that. Oh, it is ZeNEX Stream.
You get your
All
wish.
right, I got my wish. We get to see how extreme this ZeNEX player's play is. We get to make a lot of puns on his name too.
You're really looking forward to that one.
That's what I like. I like players with pun names.
Then you have to love Incredible Miracle.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I am true.
And the best, I'm ready.
I am ready. ZeNEX Stream has not gotten into Code A. Still in Code B, has a ranking of 114. Average wins, again, pretty null. Under null because we haven't seen him yet. And it looks like both players have joined the lobby. We're going to get started here very soon. We're going to have a Protoss versus Terran on Toon Valley. Can this newcomer, with an awesome name, bring it back and bring ZeNEX back into this series? Again, a little bit of a reminder, if you guys missed yesterday's broadcast, we have a new format for the Team League this season, wherein it's basically a kind of a double elimination tournament, where the winner of the match yesterday and today, and of course next week, will go directly into the round of 8 playoffs. The losers will then play each other, so the loser of today's match will play the loser of yesterday's match for a spot in the round of 8 as well. And then the playoffs will continue with 3 teams from each